Welcome back to my channel. Glad you can join me. Today I'm near the O'Reilly's resort and we're at Morans Falls. This is a beautiful waterfalls. I've been wanting to come here for so long. It's a 2-odd kilometer hike. I couldn't carry both tripods, so you're just going to see point of view from the camera and also the video that I shoot with the Osmo mobile. So let's get cracking and I'll show you just the creek before we get to Morans Falls. So there's two ways to get here, either through the car park about 1.5 kilometers from O'Reilly's guest house, or if you come up here, there's a track that actually leads you all the way to the resort. We just came from the car park. And this is the creek that leads you to Morans Falls, or it's part of Morans Falls. So, see, it's quite nice here. They've had quite a bit of rain here in the last week. There's quite a bit of water flowing. It's not overdone, it's not too much. We're going to get some great compositions today. So, let's keep walking. And I found 3 compositions here already, because we're going to have to wait till sunset to actually get pictures at the waterfall itself. There's quite a lot of wind around and the amount of spray that's coming off the falls is just unreal. So this is going to be my first composition here. Just careful how I'm walking. I do apologise if there's a bit of sound, a bit of wind sound. But look at this, this is so nice. And I've already taken some photos here, but down low. But looking at this, can you see like we've got a bit of greenery on the left and greenery on the right. So my idea is actually to come down low like this and shoot a composition from this location like that. Now I love shooting with my Takina 11-20, but where I am now at 20 mils, I'm still not close enough. So the image here is not going to be a 6x4. It's going to be like you see on the video here, a 9x16. A pano image here will look really nice. And I'm going to take one like this with the greenery on the right here and the falls on the left. And then I'll swing around and I'll do the opposite like that. I'm also going to stand up a little bit and take one pointing down. But can you see as soon as you start tilting down, see the effects of the falls? Look at that. Look how it changes. This is something that you've really got to be mindful about when you're taking photos. And this is why it's always good to get low down. I'm very low to the ground here. I'm only about 35 centimeters above the rocks. And look at the view that I'm getting here. It is just really good. Now my second composition, I'm going to walk down here a little bit, and this is where I'm going to shoot the second composition from here. Look at this, this is so nice. But if I shot in a landscape orientation here, it's just a bit bland, you know, like look at it. It's not that good at all. So what I'm going to do is tilt the camera up a bit, lift it up on the tripod, bring it back a bit like this, and shoot in portrait orientation. Tilting the camera down, I'm just going to get all this water here. See, I've got greenery on the left here, but I'm just going to see what it looks like. But I feel that this is going to be really nice. Now there's a lot of driftwood and all that in there. I'm not going to touch any of that, because if all this wood was not here, all it would be was just water. So this sort of adds to the feel. Now we'll keep walking down a little bit, and my third composition is down here. This is beautiful. You can see, like, look at it. That's where the Morans Falls drops in there. It's just so bright. My mate's down there, he's just waiting for sunset, but we're still at least an hour and a quarter away from sunset. So this is my third composition. You can see where my camera's set up. The idea behind this composition here is I want all 3 of these clumps of vegetation in my image, but I also want this in my image here. So you can see how I've set up my image, that I've just got the top clumps here of vegetation, just like on this video here, with the water just framing the bottom of the image here. Looks really nice. I'll take a photo now. I'm on live view, just click, and my focus point was the rocks right in the center of the falls here. Beautiful, look at that. My settings are ISO 100, f11, I'm on manual exposure, 2.5 seconds at 17 mils, and my white balance is cloudy. So after the third composition, I said, we're just going to walk towards the falls. I just stopped the camera, and then I looked back, and you go like, hang on a minute. I think there's a composition that I've missed, because sometimes we're so fixated. We walk, we see a composition, we take the photo, and then a bit further up we go, hey, this looks really good. Let's walk a little bit further. And that's what I did. I walked a bit further. I took 3 great compositions, which you've already seen. When I finished, I said, okay, we're just going to walk towards the falls now. And I started walking, but there were some people walking, and I go like, oh, hang on, I could hear sound. So I turned around. I've missed something. When I turned around, a composition just grabbed me. Right, it was like smack in the face. How could I have not seen this composition? And I'll show it to you now. This is where the camera is now. So this is the composition that I was just talking about. You can see up here was my second composition. On first glance, when I looked at this, you go like, oh, there wasn't much there to actually struck me. So I kept walking down over there where you can see all the greenery, and I go like, yep, cool. Then I started walking back. But when I heard these people, so I started walking back down here, and I looked at this and I go like, hang on a minute, look at the water flow here. Can you see how the water's just flowing? And look, can you see here, this green vegetation there? I go like, hang on a minute, let's go and get my gear, bring it back here. Can you see how that water's just flowing around? And look where I've put that greenery, only about a finger or two below the horizon. Now, I can't go too high, because if we tilt up here, can you see that it's just very bright? All I did was just kept bringing it down to about here. And of course I was shooting at portrait orientation, and we'll take a photo now. Now remember, these are just JPEGs straight off the camera. Now let's walk to the falls here. There's a bit of wind around. I do apologize if there's a bit of wind noise, but this is the best I can do today. So if this video has been helpful to you, give me a big thumbs up. I'd also appreciate if you subscribe to my channel. Oh, look at this. This is so nice here. So the water's a little bit deeper here. See my mate here. He's another really good photographer. His name's Dave Wynn. I'll put his details in the description below. He takes some awesome shots. Now he's using a Nikon Z6 II. He's got a Tamron 15 to 30 mil with a big polarizing filter on there. So we're right on the edge here. And before I turn off, I'll actually show you what it looks like. So we're right on the drop off here. What we're thinking of, my mate's going to try to get a little bit closer here, but can you see that rock pool right in the center here? From there, it's hard to see, but I'm going to get all these rocks here. So I'll jump over the other side and I'll show you what I mean. This is that rock pool I was telling you about. I can just get in there, but if I get down here, look at this. Can you see the water on our left here? It's just splashing over. It's so bright at the moment. Well, once the sun just gets over the horizon there, or maybe even right on sunset, this water should have a nice golden glow to it. And from there, I should have a beautiful view. So we've got about 20 minutes to sunset now. We've got beautiful golden light. The sun is just going to hide behind this mountain here in a couple of minutes. We've got the waterfall on the left here. Looks amazing. Sometimes we're just stuck in the dilemma here. I'm trying to get just a single exposure, and I'll show you this now, but it's just too much. The dynamic range is just too much. So it's f11, ISO 100, 1/60th of a second. Let's take a shot. Now that's very dark, but the sun is still overexposed. If I was trying to increase the exposure properly to show me on the meter, I'll come down 1/6 of a second. You'll see the shot here. Look at that, that is so nice. But look at the light, it's just so overexposed. But I love the sun rays here. So let's go back down a little bit and see what we can do about it. We'll come down to 1/20th of a second. Wow, that looks so nice. It's underexposed, but in Lightroom, I should be able to bring out quite a bit of that. But I think as soon as the sun goes behind that mountain there, we're going to lose that golden light. I don't want that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly bracket. I'm going to do a 5-image bracket at f11. So my shutter speed is 1/20th. Beautiful. That's it. You can see the bracketing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Edited in Lightroom and stacked in Photomatix Pro, this should look really nice. We're having a bit of sun flare, but I'll take that. That looks so nice. Put back in live view here, and let's see what happens if I just turn it slightly more. And look at that light's going so quickly. Let's quickly take another bracket. Can you see how that we've lost that golden light already? Look at it. That's how quick it went. Amazing. Once the sun goes across the horizon here, we should be able to get some nice twilight. The light will even out. In front of me here should look amazing. I'll have to move my tripod back a little bit just so I can see more of the horizon. So I've moved around a little bit. The sun is just gone behind that mountain here. We should get some really nice golden light now. Look at that. Okay, this shot is slightly overexposed. What are our settings? 1/3 of a second, f11, ISO 100. Let's see if I can bring it down a little bit without doing any bracketing. I'll come down. Let's take it 1/6 of a second. How much highlights are we blowing out? Whoa, I can see a lot of sky there. No, that's still way too dark. Now once the sun goes down, we've got just over a 2-kilometer hike back in the dark through the rainforest here. It's amazing, the wind's just died down just as the sun set. The wind's just gone. I'll just turn the camera around so you actually see more of what I'm seeing. Look at that. This looks beautiful. Now this is my scene here. Now I'm not seeing the tree branches on the top here. I've only got about 3 centimeters off the horizon. I'll take a shot here at 1/4 of a second. So that's all I need from here. I'm actually going to now climb back up the cliff and take some top-down views. So I've moved back a bit up. You can see a totally different view now from here. We've got the water coming in on the left here. And I'll turn the camera around just that little bit. There, that looks much nicer. I'll bring it down 1/2 a second. Focus back on these rocks. Now the rocks I'm focusing on, just there, just where my finger's pointing. That's where my focus point is. Beautiful, that looks so nice. There's just that little bit of flow. So look at the mountains in the background there. They just taper off. But we can see our sky is just so overexposed. The only way now to get that sky correct, either wait longer or do a 3-shot bracket. Let's quickly do a 3-shot bracket. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to stop now for a little bit and we're going to wait for the light just to get a little bit softer. It's very close to 20 to 7. The sun's gone down, and as you can see by this, I've tilted all the way down. You can just see the hood of my lens here, but we've got some golden light on this. I've had to increase my ISO to 200. I'm still at f11. The reason I increased my ISO is just I didn't want such a long exposure, and I'm at 5 seconds. We'll take a photo. And I've focused just where you see my finger here, just here. This is where my focus point is. Look at that. This is so nice. I'm at 5 seconds. If I come down to ISO 100, this is going to lead me to a 10-second exposure. Now remember, these are just JPEGs that I'm showing you, and my white balance is just sunny. Wow, so nice. This is beautiful. It's hard to believe that these are just JPEGs. So after this image, I quickly rotated my camera into portrait orientation and took 2 images. One for the sky at 1.6 seconds and one for the foreground at 30 seconds, and bracketed these in Adobe Lightroom with the HDR merge feature. Well, that's a wrap. It's 6:45. We're losing light. Video's probably a little bit pixelated. Hope you enjoyed the video, saw the photos I took. Been a great afternoon here. If you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up. Stay safe, enjoy your photography, and I'll see you next time.